Hi there. Hope you have a fantastic day today. This lesson, I'm going to teach you how to graph polynomials. So let's go straight into it. Now, first one. So to graph this, we need to go through two steps first of all. First step is we find the X-intercepts. And then after that, we're going to find Y-intercept. And it doesn't matter which step you go first. So let's find Y-intercept first, right? So to find Y-intercept, remember we made x equal to 0. So let me write this down. So Y-intercept. So this means that when x is equal to 0, so y will give me 0, 0 minus 1, and 0 plus 2. And 0 times any numbers will give me 0. So therefore, the y-intercept of this is equal to 0. Then second step is we need to find x-intercepts. X-intercepts. So this means when y is equal to 0. So that is 0 is equal to x minus 1 and x plus 2. So this means that x is equal to 0, x minus 1 equal to 0, and x plus 2 it is equal to 0. So therefore x equal to 0, I move this on the side, which is become plus 1, and you move the 2 on this side, so x equal negative 2. So we have x-intercept and y-intercept. Now we can just graph it. So let me label, this is y-axis and x-axis. And the y-intercept is 0. X-intercept is 0, 1, and negative 2. So I just write negative 2 here, 0, and 1. There you go. So to graph this, so it either go this way, like that, something like that, or it could go like this. So to graph y equal to x to the power 3, so x to the power 3, we know it's like this. And if negative x to the power 3, the graph will be like this, okay? This is the graph. So therefore, okay, if we ignore the constant, that is, we ignore the negative 1 and 2, so this can be x, x, and x. So if we time together, become x to the power 3. Correct? So therefore, the graph will be like this. So we start from the bottom all the way up. So it should go like this. So this should be smooth. So there you go. So this is y is equal to x minus 1 and x plus 1. Next one. So let's say we have y is equal to x minus 1, 3 minus x, and x plus 1. So again, we just need to follow the step. So step number 1, I can write y-intercept or x-intercepts first. It doesn't really matter. So y-intercept. So that means when x is equal to 0. So x is equal to 0. So this means that y is equal to 0 minus 1 is negative 1. And 3 minus 0 is 3. And 0 plus 1 is 1. So that will give me negative 3. So that is the y-intercept. Now to work out the x-intercept, let me write this down first. X-intercepts. That means when y is equal to 0. So that is 0 is equal to x minus 1, 3 minus x, and x plus 1. Now to solve this, we know that x is equal to 1 and x is equal to 3 and x is equal to negative 1. So that is the x-intercept. So now we just graph it. So this is y-axis, this is x-axis. So we have 1, 3, and -1 is the x-intercept. So I just put 1 here, and then 3 roughly. Okay, draw not to scale, but still relative, okay? And then -1 here roughly. And the y-intercept is -3. So -3 down here somewhere, okay? So -3. So the graph can be like this. But then the y-intercept is -3. So that is impossible. So have to be go other way. Just keep that in mind for me, okay? This is how you sort this out. So we know that the y-intercept is right between 1 and -1. So the turning point, okay, should be on the y-axis. So we just go like this, roughly, and just go all the way up and cut the x-axis at 1 and go somewhere in between, and we're gonna turn back, okay, roughly, that's all. And then that's it. There you go. And do not worry about the turning point for now. I will teach you later on, okay? And this is y is equal to x minus 1, 3 minus x, and x plus 1. There you go. Next one. So please keep this in mind. When we have a square, x plus 1 square, so that is a turning point, okay? Please keep this in mind for me. Very important. So step number 1, we find y-intercept first, okay? So y-intercept, that is when x is equal to 0. So when x is equal to 0, so we know y is equal to 0 minus 2 is -2, and 0 plus 1 is 1, and 1 square is 1 anyway, but I just write this for now. So that give me -2. So -2 is the y-intercept. Now what we do is we find the x-intercepts. So I just write this down, x-intercept. So this means when y is equal to 0. So that is 0 is equal to x minus 2, x plus 1 square. To solve this, so we know that x minus 2 is equal to 0 and x plus 1 square is equal to 0. So now we just solve it, right? So x is equal to 2, and if you square root both sides for the x plus 1 whole square, so the square root 0 still give me 0. So x plus 1 is equal to 0. So therefore x is -1. So therefore the x-intercept is x equal to -1 and x is equal to 2. So now I just graph it. So this is y, this is x, and the x-intercept is -1 and 2. So I just write -1 here, roughly, and 2 is roughly here, okay? Just roughly we do, and -2 here. And do not forget, at x equal -1 is the turning point. So the graph is, it could be like this, okay? And hit the 2. But this is wrong because the y-intercept is -2. So therefore have to be the other way. So from this up, okay? And then we cut the 2, -2. And don't forget we have to turn up and then to cut the x-axis at 2. So therefore the turning point, it should be between -1 and 2. So therefore we roughly turn between -1 and 2 right in the middle if we can, okay? Just to make the graph look better, that's all. And we do not know how far down, so we just graph so the graph look a bit nicer, that's all. And we just go down a little bit and we turn and hit the 2. Again, we do not worry about the turning point for now because we need to have other skill first before we do that. So at this moment, we just graph like this, okay? So this is it. That is the graph for y is equal to x minus 2 and x plus 1 all square. Next one. So please take note on this. This is x to the power of 3. So it is a point of inflection. X power 3, it means like this. Okay. So that is called, this point here is called point of inflection. So to do this, and first step is to find the x and the y-intercept first. Okay. So the y-intercept, I write it down. So that means when x is equal to 0. And when x is equal to 0, so that means the whole thing is equal to 0. So y-intercept is equal to 0. Then we need to find the x-intercept. So when y equals 0, so this means that 0 is equal to x to the power 3, x minus 2. So therefore, I just quickly do it. X equal to 0 or x is equal to 2. So therefore, y-intercept is equal to 0 and x-intercept is 0 and 2. And please, again, this is the point of inflection and x is equal to 0. So let me label this. This is y, this x. So we have 0 and 2 here, roughly. And it can be either this way or it could go like this. Something like that, okay? But then we need to figure out which way it is. So to do this, remember, if we ignore the constant, so that is, ignore the negative 2 there, so that y is become x power 3 times x, so which means x to the power 4. And we know that when x squared, that means the graph will be like this. And if it's x power 4, it's exactly the same way, but it's just a lot steeper. That's all, like this. Okay? And x power 6, and even steeper, and then power 10, and so on. Okay? So therefore, it starts from the top, and it goes down and up. Okay? So let me clear this. Roughly is here. And hit next to the point and start turning a little bit because it point inflections, and then just go like this, and then we turn up. There you go. It's something like this, okay? So that means y is equal to x to the power 3 and x minus 2. That's it. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.